What's going on, everybody? DogMan Dan here, Warframe. So I want to talk about a little bit of the Devstream 111 that happened. Where they showcased the Nidus Deluxe skin, which looks pretty insane. I want to talk a little bit about the melee changes and some of the Dojo remaster stuff, along with a few more things. Now, of course, you probably heard already, TennoCon is officially sold out, which, congrats, awesome. I won't be attending, again. Just FYI for anyone that's interested, which most people aren't, so don't even worry about that. It is what it is. I don't think that I'll ever attend. I don't have time with my real life to be able to take a weekend off like that, so that just doesn't happen. Way too much money. Besides the point. So, we're going to see coming up this week the Saren Revisited changes, which I haven't really talked about it yet. I went over the dev workshop a little bit. I want to look at it a little bit more again before I kind of put my thoughts out there. And I really kind of want to wait on it to see when it releases how I feel about it afterwards, because that's usually, you can read everything and then be like, no, this is going to stink, and then it actually comes out pretty good. But, yeah, never know. We've had a weird track history on Revisiteds in terms of Warframe, so we'll see what happens. Plague Star, of course, is live on PS4 and Xbox One, so hopefully you guys are enjoying that. The Nidus skin does look pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, you gotta get a look of it. But the big thing's going to be, one of the big things coming up is the Dojo remaster, where they've relit everything. So lighting, colors, things are going to look a little bit cooler, a little bit more awesome. And they're also going to finally give us our own custom obstacle course. So this is going to be interesting, because this means I'm going to be spending some time inside of the dojo trying to craft an obstacle course that will be a challenge for everybody in the clan, and maybe we'll be able to make some sort of a event out of it with some kind of a prize or something within the clan. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure yet, but we will be able to add and create our own obstacle course, which will be pretty awesome. They showcased it a little bit on the dev stream. They're talking about different types of obstacles that we can use as well. So, time platforms, deadly lasers, pressure pads, dummies that you can kill during the course, and a whole bunch more other things. They've also set it up to reduce the build time to instantaneous, so that way there is no delay, reduces friction amongst everybody, because you can sit there for days on end trying to wait for everything to build, but instead this can be instantaneously built, so that's kind of cool. They did showcase it off a little bit in the dev stream, and it does look pretty awesome. Of course, it's still early in the process. We don't know when it's going to fully release yet, but for it to be coming is pretty awesome. That just definitely gets you back into the whole group concept of clan and clans doing something, even having a clan event just for obstacle course running type of thing. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the leaderboard stuff on it goes as well. I mean, you probably won't be able to cheat it like we do now. So yeah, interesting. Pretty thrilled about that. Now, work in progress melee changes that are coming. Excuse me, by the way. Present and future goals. This is kind of what I want to talk about here. The melee system is always an ongoing topic, and everything is being discussed, can be found over in a dev workshop as well. I'll get into a little bit more detail, but what they basically talked about is channeling. Let's be real, channeling gameplay and mods may not be the priority in your arsenal, especially for a feature that takes up an entire button by itself. So they're moving some of the mechanics of channeling to the block button completely. Normal blocking will now perform like channel blocking currently does. So interesting there. Heavy attacks will now use the old channeling button and will be powered by your combo counter. Part of this change includes improvements to charge attacks, goodbye false swings, ground slams, making them able to be directional ground slams, and a little bit more. In terms of combos, what they're looking to change is the idea of the combo meter affecting mostly the new heavy attacks. So as a result, all base damage values will be increased significantly on weapons, And additionally, they're planning on changing the way you build up combos so that you get a better combo faster instead of current exponential system as it stands. It's going to be interesting in how they're saying that. So, they're taking base damage of weapons, increasing base damage significantly. Significantly being the key word here. We'll see how significant that actually is if we're taking that out of the combo meter, which is now going to mostly affect heavy attacks. Stances, not all stances are built the same, and they want to unify stance combos so the amount of attacks and how you perform them are somewhat similar. So there is less of a giant learning curve when trying out a new stance. Now, I'm not really sure where they're going with that. Unifying stance combos, maybe they mean that in terms of just, it's always going to be the same way to do combos, even though combos may be different depending on what stance it is. But range, first and foremost, they will be moving the ability to melee attack through walls, which shouldn't happen anyway, but it's built into the game anyway, so whatever. Anyway, range melee mods will be reduced overall and will possibly become more specialized, while the base range of melee weapons will be increased. I'm going to be honest, I don't use the ranged mods where it gives you too often. So I do have the Prime mod, though, the Reach. But we'll see what happens there in that regards. They did show off a little bit of the footage on how it would work, and it's definitely interesting. But again, it's one of those things I really want to get my hands on the mechanic and actually try it for myself before I speculate that this is going to be horrible, because I don't think it's going to be too bad. Especially with melee being like one of the biggest things in the game. I mean, that's pretty much what everybody loves to do, is use the melee, because that's where you get the most fun out of it anyway, as a space ninja, or at least I do. So I don't think they're going to want to screw up the melee, because that could really mess things up. But like I said, time will tell on that. We'll just have to wait and see how it comes out. And once it does come out and release, there's going to be a ton of changes that go along with it. Hot fixes and such for things that just didn't work out the way they wanted to, and things that seem to work better than it should have. In a way of basically saying there will be, yeah. So there will be changes. GPU-based particles are coming to the consoles, which hadn't been there before, but they're going to be there now, so they found a way to do it. It will be coming with 4 detail settings, plus the ability to turn them off completely, so you'll have low, medium, high, and basically ludicrous, if you will. Or you can turn them off, so it'll be based off of how you want it. I like the particle effects. I mean, obviously on PC we've had them forever. So, but I can understand on consoles being a little bit different. So, they're hoping to ship this stuff with next week's mainline on the PC. They talked about the dual-handed katana, which is kind of cool. Obviously, we keep seeing all the UI remaster stuff that's going on. Steve keeps posting that on Twitter. Some of the stuff's pretty cool looking, so UI does definitely need some tweaks. Every couple of years, the UI always needs some tweaks. And kind of looking forward to seeing some of these changes when they actually hit. Because some of the stuff that he's posted so far actually looks pretty good, pretty cool. Korra tweaks. Let's see. So in the next week's mainline update on PC, they're adding some more bug fixes and quality of life fixes, of course. And snare, which increases Korra's and snare range, will also be fixed. The nasty bug that resulted in all enemies being released after using Whip Claw on ensnared foes. Whip Claw itself, range mods mostly. Range mods affect the Whip Claw AoE status by up to 2 times. And in Venari, the commanding Venari to a target will cause her to teleport to it if it's too far away. So that's actually kind of cool. Some other things. The Vauban Deluxe is pretty far along in production. Still not there yet. Neza Deluxe is kind of stalled, which kind of sucks because that's one of my favorite frames. Operator suit skins for Tenogen are a definite possibility because the operators need some work there in terms of fashion frame. And Sentient Arm Cannon is not coming soon, but it is still coming. So, keep that in mind. Anyway, that's basically just a quick rundown on some of the stuff that's going on inside that dev stream. Obviously, you've probably already seen it all, but I wanted to get my thoughts on it. And I'm definitely interested, again, in the melee stuff, that these changes. I think everybody is, because there's no way, inevitably, we're going to be able to get around it. They're going to have them here. So far, things look pretty good, I would say, positive. There might be some stuff right now that I'm going to definitely question in terms of what they're thinking, but it's one of those, until they release it, we really can't tell whether it's going to be good or bad in this case. And then definitely the obstacle course thing is going to be awesome. Finally, something inside that dojo again that we can really put together and make really pretty awesome. Anyway, stay tuned for more from me, of course. I'll probably try to release something about the Saren changes, but I may want to just hold out on it until after it releases. That way I can get my hands on it and be like, okay, so I really like these changes that are going on out there. But maybe we'll discuss it before then. Anyway, thanks for tuning in like always, and I will catch you guys later.